co-founder of NextTribe, and you see a big camel behind me. I'm kind of in Uzbekistan, or that's how it feels, because we're doing the Tribe Cooks, one of our features, our virtual features, which is so fun. And this day we're going to have Olga Vi. We just call it Olga Vi. She took a group of NextTribe women to Uzbekistan last spring, and she picked up some great recipes, and she's going to share them with us. And in all of the cooking sessions she's done with us, she just invites you to have fun and get tips, or if you want to cook along with her, either way. But I'd love to invite you to join in and ask questions. And here's Olga Vi from her kitchen in Connecticut.
Hey. Hi. So first of all, I'm wearing Uzbekistan dress made in Uzbekistan. And this is actually their traditional patterns. I'll show you something else.
Okay, what's that?
So Uzbekistan is famous for the Silk Road, which moved through Uzbekistan. So this is some of the silk little purse I bought. And it's also very famous for Suzanis. If you can see, this is silk Suzani.
Oh, beautiful.
And we bought a lot of like pieces like that. And also like my dress is made from cotton, but we bought a lot of fabrics, which is pure silk, and it's all traditional eye cuts. This is what they're famous for. So that was actually fun trip. We went through Silk Road, and we visited 4 or 5 cities. We visited Tashkent, Samarkand, Bukhara, Khiva, and we even went to the fort of Alexander the Great. So it's all kind of in the road. We fly, we drive, we took train. It was a lot of fun. So, and I also bought this beautiful knife in Uzbekistan, in Bukhara, and it's actually engraved. And this knife is made from titanium, which you never have to sharpen. This knife will stay sharp all the time. So it's something, I bought it in a blacksmith store with beautiful, I had picture on advertising. If you look at them, Jeannie posted this big guy who made this knife. So that was very fun. And I'm gonna use this knife because it's actually a great knife for cooking. So today we will have a lot of conversations, because when you make pilaf, I have to cook something in wait. So we're gonna go back and forth. But to start with, I'm gonna start that in Uzbekistan, it's about 50 different variations to cook pilaf. So in our trip, we visited 3 big cities, and every city cooked it different. And if you see behind Marcelina is her background picture, which is really cool. They make a huge kazans. Kazan, actually, it's a pot. But I have a small kazan today. I already heating it. But in Uzbekistan, they have a huge kazans for like 30 people, 100 people. They make pilaf for 500 people. And we visited a few, it's called Pilaf centers, which is amazing. They cook huge pilafs and then serve it right there. It's like a casual restaurant, I would say, this Pilaf center. Very casual, it costs very cheap, like, I don't know, like $3, $5, like to eat there. And traditionally they serve pilaf, and they serve tomato salad, which is very traditional. I'll show you how to make it very easy. So let me show you what I have today. So today I prepared, this is my spice. spice little table, and I would show you what I have. So I have coriander and I have different peppers, and I mix them together and blend it in this little bowl from Mexico. So it's freshly grounded. I have bay leaf, I have cumin, salt, I have apricots, almonds, and I have golden raisins. I also have 2 garlics and peppers. You can use peppers. I mean, it could be like red chili or like this one, or green chili, whatever you prefer. And also, it's very traditional. In every pilaf, they use carrots. So what was interesting in Uzbekistan, I'll show you. I already pre-chopped yellow carrots and orange carrots. But what was interesting in Uzbekistan, they have 2 types of carrots, and actually yellow carrot is original carrot. They told that orange carrot was artificially kind of developed, but this is the original carrot which they use, and they like it more, but now they do for color both. It depends on the recipe. We have onion as well, and we have lamb meat, which I chopped in like a little cubes. It could be lamb leg, which is a good meat. I also pre-chopped some onion already, so I won't cry in front of you. So we're gonna start, and then I'm gonna talk a little bit, because it will go into process pieces while it's cooking here, and I wait, I'll talk to you. So I also have actually basmati rice, and it's pre-washed. So what I'm gonna start, I'm already heating my kazan, and I'm going to start with vegetable oil, putting quite a bit of vegetable, I would say 1 cup for my portion. And I'm also going to add maybe like 1 spoon of sesame oil. So that's a little trick of mixing oil for my pilaf. However, in Uzbekistan, some of the pilaf masters mix 3-4 types of oils to make flavors a little different. So my oil is heating, and while now I must say that we have to have, during the coronavirus, our hands busy, so we don't touch our face. That's why we have 2 glasses, right? This is water, this is wine. Cheers, guys. We don't have to mute everyone. I don't hear. You guys muted everyone? Unmute.
Unmute, okay.
Unmute, because I'm gonna do stop. Could you unmute everyone? Because I'm doing like now I'm waiting for oil to be heated so we can chat.
Okay. So do you want to, I can show some photos while we're,
Yeah, well, I can tell you the stories. So, and feel free to ask question. Yes.
Yes. Hi. So nice to see you. I'm a chef, and I'm going to be doing a cooking class also. So I love home cooks and people who bring their expertise from their home countries and their culture. And I was muted more because I don't want my husband and my daughter walking in. We're all working at home, and as we all are. But you talked about mixing the oils. So when you mix oils when you're cooking, do you have a pre-mixed cup set aside that might mix, say, the olive oil, the sesame oil, or the vegetable oil, so it's pre-portioned as a mix?
No, it's not proportion. We just add first a little bit of sesame oil and then vegetable oil.
Okay.
But as I said, if you look at Uzbekistan, I saw, like, we went to 3 Pilaf center, and Pilaf center, as I said, the places where they cook huge different versions of pilafs, I saw them putting like vegetables, sesame and sunflower oil, like plastic bottles like that.
Yeah.
They just put it on the side of that thing and drink. So I think it's very, very, you know, but they don't premix it. Not that I saw, but maybe it's a good tip for someone who wants to do like pilaf special oil premix. And I don't know if that will work, but
no, I'm going to try it now because it's such an interesting idea that we're all such purists about which oil we should use in cooking. So if we mix it, it could be very interesting. Even in sautéing something, maybe mixing a few oils.
You're right. I never do it in my other cooking. And I'm not a chef, by the way. I'm just inspirational chef, travel chef. So, but that's a great idea. I think it might be very interesting to premix oils. So I wanted to share, like, the pilaf I'm going to be cooking. Every town has different pilaf, and every chef has different pilaf. So it's very different. But what I learned in Uzbekistan, for example, in Tashkent, when they make pilaf, they mix meat, carrots, onions, and everything else. And then when they put rice on top, they stir it during cooking. So when we went to Samarkand, and we had this wonderful lady who was like 80 years old. By the way, I'm gonna start putting meat because while we're talking, we have to be cooking. I see my oil is hot, and this is my lamb. So I'm gonna put it in my pot. And the pot, by the way, the pot called kazan. So I'm going to put it in here and let it cook while we talk, because the next, you'll see the process, we have to pull it out after some point. So I'm going to add that, and there is my coriander and pepper, and I'm going to add that. And I'm going to add salt a little later. I am going to add a little bay leaf and let it a little cook. So back to my story of the travel. When we got to Samarkand, we went for dinner to some beautiful restaurant, and it was home family restaurant. And the little lady, I'm gonna add a little fire, it looks like a little slow. The little lady, 80 years old, was showing us how to make Samarkand pilaf, which was amazing. She was like so fragile, so tiny. And so in Samarkand, the trick to Samarkand pilaf, like you will see, I'll cook meat, I'll cook onions, and then carrots, and I mix. But in Samarkand, they do not mix. They put it as a layers, like a cake. But
Olga, are you saying what are you saying, Samarkand? Is that?
Samarkand is a town.
Oh, okay.
Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva, and Tashkent. Okay. So this is all cities on the Silk Road. And every city has their own version of pilaf, like their own way they serve and cook. So you see, my meat is slowly cooking. And what we're gonna do, I'll cook it, saute it a little bit, and then I have to pull it out and cook onions, and then put it back, because we like onions to be kind of golden brownish and not to burn, but we like meat to saute first and give all the sauce and everything into that, into the pilaf sauce. So anyway, that lady was cooking with us, and it was funny she was showing us, this is, by the way, the rice. When you put the rice, you have to do the holes into the pilaf. And then she was telling, like, when it's ready, you have to slap the pilaf and it has to do certain sound. I don't know, I didn't master it. It's like, she's like, the pilaf does chok chok or chik chip. And if it does chok chok, then it's good pilaf. So it was funny. They have all kind of, you know, all the traditions. And then another thing they do, I have lovely tomato and a little bit of green and onion. And they usually serve pilaf with peeled tomato salad with a little onions and greens, and that's about it. And today, by the way, I have apple, and the reason I have apple because ideally they love to make pilaf with quinces. Quinces is like some kind of fruit which grows in the fall. It's kind of bitter, sweet. But we don't have it now. It's not a season, so we're gonna make it with apple, which is okay as well. It's kind of my version of the pilaf. So let's see, my meat is sauteing pretty good, a little brownish. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to take it out and then I'm going to put my onions. So by the way, the pilaf ideally takes about 1 hour and a half. So we'll go through the steps and almost get to the end. But I guess I'll make the plate and save the picture on the Facebook or somewhere, so you guys can see the final served picture.
Olga, question. Those are onions?
What is it?
Those are onions?
This was meat.
Oh, that's the meat. Okay.
Here is my onions. And I usually cut it in half and then slice in small, you know, kind of half moon circles. So I'm going to put my onions in here. And here is my onions. And by the way, I'm looking at my oils. I think I need a little more oil. So you can definitely add when you look and see how it's developed. If you think it's not enough, just add a little more. And by the way, the sesame oil, I added a little bit, gives a fantastic smell and mix of smell. So we're gonna brown, I'm gonna put a little more bigger fire. We're gonna brown the onions and then we'll work with our carrots. By the way, I prepared basmati rice, and that's supposed to be very good for the pilaf because I tried jasmine rice and I didn't like it so much. It was a little bit sticky. So also when you wash the rice, make sure you wash it 3-4 times until this milky water disappear. Otherwise, it does affect stickiness of the rice. And the pilaf actually supposed to be kind of falling apart, like you know, like a sand. It doesn't supposed to be sticky. So that's a good kind of variation of the pilaf. So meanwhile, we did that. Cheers, by the way. Don't forget to drink when you cook because that's critical. Otherwise, it's not fun. So another thing with apple, this is actually fun. So I look at this apple and they said that you have to cut it inside or maybe cut in half, but I like to put whole apple in the pilaf. So when I found this is like to sharpen my knife, and I just did this. So that will give, when I put my apple inside, you will see that will give the option to apple to give the juices, but not really fall apart. And you will see, we are not gonna let it fall apart. It's with pilaf in Uzbekistan, it's very important to have everything pretty. Like they're very specific about presentation. So while we have that, let me prep my garlic. So I have 2 garlics, and I'm gonna show you there's 2 ways to cut it for pilaf. And I like both ways, it depends how you like it. So you take a whole clove, you pre-clean it a little, so it's not completely, you know, hundreds layers. And then what you do, you can cut it in half. And that's the way we're gonna put it in the pilaf. So that's one version. And the other version, I'm gonna just cut top of it. I'm gonna cut maybe 1/4 and just use 1/4. So that would be second way of cutting it. But either way it's good. We're gonna put it inside our pilaf when it gets to it. For now, it's still cooking my onions, which is getting better and better, but need a little more. We want them a little more browner.
Hey,
So
Olga,
how are you guys these days? What are you cooking and doing? Who is doing what?
before we get to that, we have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Jean wants to know, is this part after the rice is cooked, or I guess you're gonna get there? Or
No, the rice is still just washed and it's raw.
Raw.
Nothing
Okay.
is cooked. I'm actually starting from complete beginning. I only pre-cut things, so nothing is cooked. Nothing. That's exactly how you start. The only thing I pre-wash things because it's kind of hard to do it on your own, and it will take a lot of time. And I think it's going to be boring for you to see me my back washing it. So.
okay, and Kim wants to know if you use a whole head of garlic.
Yes, you use whole head of garlic, and you can slice. You see how I did like just top of it? Or you can take and slice it in half. And either way, it's okay. We're gonna put it a little later in all our cooking same pot and keep it cooking there for some time. So
And
that's
also, Patricia wants to know, that's elephant garlic?
You know what? I'm not specific. I have 2 different types. One is a little pinkish and one is white garlic. I think you probably can use both. We're not so specific about the garlic yet. I mean, maybe someday we'll be like only that one. But I think what is good about pilaf that it's quite, you know, it's quite an improvising recipe. Like I'm going to cook it with the golden raisins and apricots, dry apricots, and almonds. But people add also chickpeas. They add, I don't know, a lot of kind of like different things. So they mix meat. You don't have to do it with lamb. You can do it with chicken or even beef. Like it's up to you. So that's a good part about pilaf. I know, like for Kim, or I know a lot of you vegetarian, you can actually skip the meat part, sauteing the meat, start sauteing the onions, and use exactly the same ingredients, just maybe add more raisins, more apricots, and more almonds, and that will be vegetarian pilaf with like cashews and all of that. Like you can add all different type of nuts, and it could be very different type of pilaf.
And
So
Kim wants to know if there's a veggie you like instead of the meat, like eggplant. Would eggplant be a good?
I don't think they do eggplant, but they do chickpeas. They do all kind of dried fruits, like maybe dried plums, different raisins, different nuts. I don't think they put eggplant in it, but I know they put sometimes peppers, like bell peppers. So she can definitely experiment. Oh, you can talk actually.
Oh yeah, Kim, you can talk.
We unmuted you.
So I was going
Guys,
to
you
say,
can talk. We are
Okay.
not muted.
okay, so I was going to say, maybe add more nuts instead of the meat would be a
Definitely.
good substitute.
And the chickpeas.
I just was, and chickpeas, I like the chickpeas. I was just wondering if there was like a veggie that you could like
Yeah,
take it
I
to
think it's
like a
probably-
substitution.
you can try, and also, you know, a lot of carrots, that's like best ever. So I'm going to add a little more. So my onion is pretty good right now. So I'm going to add my cumin. And let's see, I'm gonna add my salt. And I'm going to add my meat back because now it's pretty good and golden. So my meat goes back. And now when I mix it for a little bit, so you can see, so it's stirred together with onions. So now I can actually wait a little bit, but I can start adding my carrots. As we can see, like in Tashkent style, they are adding all carrots at the same time. But in our Samarkand style, it's hot actually, hold on. I put a little too much heat. In our Samarkand style, they basically added carrots as layers and another one. And it looks very pretty with two different layers. So now we have to stir, like it depends on style, either you stir or not, but we cook it slightly and we add a little bit of water. So let me do, and then we're gonna add our garlic. And actually now is about time, after it stir a little bit more, I'm going to add my golden raisins. I'm kind of speeding it up a little bit for you guys. I mean, ideally I have to probably saute it a little bit longer, but because we are kind of on Zoom, I think it's okay. So let it stir a little bit, and then I'm gonna add all my stuff, including the chili pepper and garlics, and then the apple. And you'll see how it will look, and then we'll close it.
And Olga, can you tell us about that pot? Didn't you order?
It's actually hot. Let me try.
Yes.
So I put it a little higher. It's kind of medium. And it's pretty hot. And this is actually this pot called kazan. It's an iron cast kazan, and I bought it online. I actually love it because this top could be as a pan as well. You see?
And
And
how do you
you can-
spell that? How do you spell that, Olga? Do you know?
Kazan, K-A-Z-A-N, Kazan.
Oh, okay.
Слушай, Оль, а этот барбарис?
You know, I think it could be added, could be not, but I'm adding coriander and pepper for this one. But yes, you can add barbaris. Like, I don't know how it is in English, actually, it's something else. But you can add those spices into pilaf. However, it depends. I think a coriander, cumin, and pepper is pretty good combo, especially I'm adding golden raisins. So you see my pilaf is kind of getting together. So now what I'm going to do, I added a little bit of all spices. Oh, by the way, I have this wonderful smoked paprika. And I'm gonna add it because I love spicy and I love the idea of smoke feeling to it. Actually, ideally, pilaf should be cooked on the fire. On the fire in kazan outdoors. That's pretty much how. So it looks very pretty. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
It looks very nice colors. Let me grab another one.
Hey, darling.
Oh, hey, somebody else. So you see, it looks very lovely mixed colors. So now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to add a little water in it and add my other ingredients. So how much water? I don't think I'm going to, maybe 1 cup. Let me see if you guys see it. I think I would add about, just so my whole mix is covered. I'll show you. So it's a little covered with water and I stir it a little bit. And now it's time to add my garlic.
Did you put the rice in already?
No, not yet.
Oh, you did that last time differently.
No. First you have to cook this for about maybe 20 minutes.
I see.
So this is pretty much where all your ingredients are there. The spices are there, the carrots, everything. The salt is there. You might want add a little more salt a little later, but this is pretty much all there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cover it and wait a little bit. And after, let's say, we'll wait less because our call, we'll wait maybe 10 minutes we talk. After that, I'm gonna add my rice and I'm going to add my apricots and I'm going to add my almonds. So pretty much, this is the steps which I showed you, which is very, very easy. I guess in the beginning when we came to Uzbekistan and we looked at all this cooking, I thought it's so complicated that I'm like, I'd never be able to cook the pilaf, but it's actually not so complicated. By the way, we started chatting and I forgot my important thing.
Oh my God.
The apron from Italy.
Where's that, from Italy?
This is from Cinque Terre, and it's actually 5 villages in Italy. And I went there a while ago. I'm trying to boil the water for tomatoes. And we went there a while ago, so I had it for a long time. Just a sec, I'll put the water. So I'm going to make tomato salad, which is very, very simple. Because in tradition of Uzbekistan, they always serve this tomato salad with any pilaf. By the way, this is from Uzbekistan. This is the ones I bought actually on one of the markets. Very pretty traditional Uzbekistan design. So with tomatoes, basically it's super simple. You take fresh tomato, which has to be super fresh, and I'm going to boil water, put boiled water on top of tomato, then I'll take the skin, slice it, and put with onions and a little green. So I'm waiting for my water to boil, and then I will create that salad while my pilaf is cooking.
So that means that you can have a drink.
Oh yes, we don't forget about the drink.
Good, I'm exhausted. I've been cooking all day.
You've been cooking all day?
No.
No. So I've heard everybody was
Watching you cook.
cooking, right? Who is there? Susan? I see Patricia, Healy. Hi, who is Samsung? Someone on Samsung, we don't know the name. So I have Healy, my friend from New Jersey. I have Oksana from Ukraine, from Kiev.
Woo,
She's
hello.
actually at night. Oh, this is Galina, right? Galina, are you in Manhattan or where are you now?
Where's Galena?
Where's Galina?
Galina Samsung. She says
Oh,
Samsung.
Samsung. Where
Oh.
are you? Where is she?
She's on
Where are you from?
You are mute. Galina, you're mute.
Unmute.
Oh, I got her.
Galina, where are you? You're in Manhattan or?
She
No,
a talker? She mute herself?
no,
Oh,
I can
I
hear you.
unmuted her.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
We just don't see you.
I
Um,
can hear you.
Olga, I just posted the recipe you gave us, but it doesn't really have any notes on like how you do it. It's just the things you see it on the side, and
Yeah.
is there any,
What now?
I'm just thinking, does anybody need like little notes on what we need to be doing? Or are you taking notes? If anybody's taking notes, send them to me.
Yeah, we can, you know.
Isn't she gonna send the recipe?
No, she's gonna
Well, the
send us a
recipe-
taste.
So
I'm
my
not taking
pilaf,
notes.
see, it's cooking. It's boiling. So basically, this should be boiling about like 30 minutes. But what we will do, so let's assume that 30 minutes happen. So what do you do at that moment? You have to take out this garlic, apple, peppers, and another garlic. I can stir it a little bit more. And now, assume we waited enough time, because this is not enough time, but I think, you know, it's still gonna be lovely. It just, like ideally, you have to wait a little more for juices and everything. So what I'm gonna do now, let me pull somehow computer a little closer. So I'm going to put my rice, and the way I'm going to put my rice, I'm going to mix all my mixture with vegetable and meat, and I will actually, before that, I will add a little bit of nuts in the mixture first, because I want it to be inside.
What kind of nuts?
This is almonds. Sliced almonds.
Oh, okay.
And now I'm going to layer my rice. And the way you layer it, you just kind of put it on top like, I don't know, like a cream on the cake. So it covers all, all the pilaf. So you see the rice is on top. So now I'm going to put back all my decoration, the garlics, the peppers, and the apple.
Okay.
Olga, did you put the raisins in already?
Yes, the raisins already in the meat, but now I'm gonna add my dried apricots because
Okay.
actually I tried to do apricots with the meat, but I think it was too sweet, so I kind of don't like it too much. So I'm going to add them on top, and that's how it looks. It looks very pretty. So now it's gonna cook for another half an hour, and it will raise in a big, you know, it will enlarge. The rice will become like full pot, and then we will have to do a little mountain from the rice. So at the moment I'm gonna cover it, and pretty much it's almost done. I would need just at the end, maybe in 20 minutes, I will need to take all the rice because it's gonna be big and make it like a little mountain, collect it together, and then cover with another plate and let it steam for another 20, 25 minutes. So basically, we're already 46 minutes, so it will need another 46 minutes, pretty much, 1 hour and a half.
I'll be right over, darling.
What?
I'll be right over.
Yeah, I know, my tasting people, like usually it was, actually I have a little bit of elements. I'm gonna put more elements because I have them left and it's pretty and it's gonna be nice.
Don't you need the onions for your tomato salad?
Yes, I'm going to do it now. I need hot water. So what we would do with tomato, I hope my water is hot enough. I'll just pour some hot water on my tomato and then I will put it out. So basically hot water will help you to take the skin out of tomato. That's pretty much, you know, the purpose. I guess I could have hold it a little longer, but it's it helps to peel the skin. And I should have done it a little longer because it still doesn't peel in too well. I'll put a little more hot water. Basically, maybe you can just hold it like a few more minutes under the water.
You're making me hungry.
Oh, really? Well, that's the purpose. I mean, it's hard actually cook during this type of show because we are kind of, you know, not on exact time as it's supposed to be. So
Well, I
I'm
am.
going to cut the center.
What's the toast?
But if you're a good cook, you probably can follow. So, and I'm gonna slice this tomato in like cubes. This is very popular salad in Uzbekistan. and pretty much needs nothing. So it's tomatoes, and I'm going to slice a little bit of onions, very thin, like half moon, like thin, very, very thin. I'm going to add a little bit of either parsley, cilantro, any kind of greens.
How's the garden doing, by the way?
Huh?
How is your garden doing out there?
Oh, lovely. I'm developing a Zen garden, so that's something else. And I have a little bit of oil, and that's it.
Is it just straight oil? Does it have any?
Yeah,
vinegar in it?
straight oil. I mean, you can pretty much they don't add anything. Sometimes a little vinegar, but I think if you have a good tomatoes, a little bit of oil and onion and greens,
Yeah.
and it goes very, very well with pilaf. Of course, I mean pepper if you like. That's definitely like something, you know, always goes well. But that's the traditional way to serve pilaf with tomato salad. So let me see. I don't think my pilaf raised enough, but it's
Olga,
coming.
Olga,
Yes.
I have a picture of the finished pilaf whenever you
Oh,
want
yes,
to show it.
yes, and the plate, like I sent you the plate. But look, it's already happening.
Yes.
Hold on. So yeah, it's coming, but it will raise more to the end, and then you will pull out your garlic, your apple, and you will slice the apple in the little, you don't wait till apple fall apart. It has to be slightly cooked, but not completely. And then you slice it. Actually, I can show you because the apple, it's okay to pull out. And you can slice it into like little pieces like that, and put on your plate when you serve the pilaf. What is also very traditional, I put back the apple. What is very traditional in Uzbekistan, they boil the eggs and they serve pilaf with boiled egg around the plate. This is something like a decoration, but I think it makes probably more protein and it makes it more filling. That's probably the reason they do it.
Well, I'm going to show you the picture. Hold on. Well,
And I
just
have
a
a
minute.
question, Olga, with the pot. Could you use a pot like a Le Creuset pot, or do you have to have that iron pot that's the kazan?
You know, ideally, of course, you can use any pot, but the pilaf, actually, that's what they pretty much always saying, that the most important is kazan, this iron cast pot, which is this shape, which keeps the heat certain way for the rice and flavors. But I mean, you can try. I'm not sure how it will come out. I just bought this kazan and I bought a small one. I guess it was $64.
I was going to ask you, what kind of price range do you like? Because I just went online and they go from like 64 to 600.
You know what? I bought this for 64. I'm pretty happy with it. It's small though. It's like, I call it quarantine pot, quarantine pilaf pot, because pilaf pots are usually like for big parties, you know, they do it on the outside for 10 to 30 people. This is like a baby pilaf pot.
How do you spell kazan again?
What?
How do you spell it again?
Kazan. Kazan. If you Google Kazan pot for pilaf on Amazon, you will see a bunch of them. And I like this one because it had this pan. The cover of Kazan could be used as a pan.
Okay.
It's like iron pan, you can put it in the stove or whatever. So I like it for that reason, but there was few others. The only one I tried to pick from the iron heavy one. Like, because when it's not heavy, when it's like aluminum or whatever, like light, I feel it might burn on the bottom while you're cooking because it's slow, long cook. Oh, one little trick. Wait, I forgot about little trick. So, little trick. You take something, could be spoon or it could be this thing, and you have to poke it. You have to poke it, holes, maybe 5-6 holes, a few times. And when you do it, I'll show you, where is it? When I poke it, the water comes out. You see, like the boiling water comes out. So it helps kind of rice to breathe and come out properly, you know, like do aroma to the whole pot.
So I'm going to show the screen again. Do you see the picture here of what it ends, the finished picture? Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I see it. I don't know if you guys see it.
I see it.
I see it.
Okay, so just because you know, we don't have the whole time, I just wanted to see. You can see how it all comes together.
And also, I want to show you something. So, in a little bit more, this pilaf will raise a little bit higher. Then you have to kind of take the sides and create kind of a little mountain. Create a little mountain so the rice kind of like from the sides comes to the top. And what they usually also do, they also put either another plate or some kind of cover for the pot. I'll show you. Like that. That's like it let rice steam and feel better the whole aroma and spices, and then they cover it one more time. And basically after this moment, that's like another 20-25 minutes and it should be done. Then you just serve it. You also, like if you use quincy or for example apple, so it not fall apart, you can take it earlier and just keep it on the side for serving purpose. But I think I would leave it inside. We'll see what happens. And the fire, I think now, let me check. It might be, I do it a little lower. So now we are good and we can have another drink. So no worries. Everything is good with
Well, I've
pilaf.
got to get up.
Nail in the head.
How big is the flower?
Joint. Who is joint?
It tipped over and the flowers all over the
We don't know who is that.
Hey, is that somebody speaking in the background? Can we?
spot.
Okay.
So,
I was just gonna say, gosh, I've got dogs going crazy. So sorry, but I was gonna say that you know, if you have questions, please ask. But also, before we finish, I want to introduce Patricia Greenberg Gurnfeld. Can you wave? And I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna make you spotlight on you.
Okay.
So Patricia is going to, in 2 weeks, Patricia is going to do little bit of cooking. We've had Olga do 3 in a row, and Patricia's a chef. She's done books, and she's going to do something about cooking with what you have in your kitchen. Kind of like, you know, how all of us, we're trying not to go to the, yeah. So that'll be June 2nd, and I like the idea because it's like we all are trying to avoid going to the grocery store. So sometimes you just look in your fridge, what do I have? And so Patricia's going to help us with that. So I'll send out more information about that later. So I wanted just to introduce you. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you. Nice to see
And
you.
she's got a great an interesting COVID story that we're going to publish next week. So you'll see that too.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
By the way, in Uzbekistan, there is no so many cases, and it looks like they're totally okay. So
oh, good.
it's interesting. They've been waiting. I actually supposed to be in Uzbekistan this April again, and it didn't go. So maybe I don't know when, in a year. So it will be fun to go again.
Yes, and Susan asked if we can post the order of the way you put things in. Why don't we do this, Olga? You and I, we'll fix up the recipe with what goes in when, and I will also send out to everybody here a link to the video and with some notes on the recipe, so you can do it at home if you didn't take notes on this.
Yeah, and definitely you can be a bit more. First of all, you can substitute lamb for chicken if you don't want to, or you can do it without meat at all. So, and add a little more ingredients additional, so it could be improvised.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not one to really cook a lot, but would this work if I did it in a crock pot?
I think probably you can. The only thing,
I mean, not the rice. The rice would have to be last. But if I layered everything in a crock pot.
I think the only thing you have to make sure, maybe you can cook on the pan the onion and meat, and then mix it all together, and then
put it in a
crock pot, and then add the rice, and it probably should be fine. Just maybe do on the pan like onions and carrots, and so it's a little hot, because crock pot is not so hot usually.
Well,
right?
but I mean, are the carrots supposed to be kind of crunchy, or are they supposed to be moist, or when you're eating it?
They're not really super crunchy in the pilaf. They're pretty cooked after, like, let's say an hour cooking. They're quite soft, and they're not that crunchy.
They're all totally cooked because they're so skinny anyway.
Any other questions or comments? Except send some food our way, Olga.
Yeah, really. You hear a few knocks on your door.
Oh, Patricia wants a question.
So I just want to say that you did a beautiful job in weaving in the ethnic cultural aspects of the, I really do. I think you did an amazing job. And we're not meat eaters. My husband's father was a butcher, so he always said he ate enough meat before he was 18 to last him a lifestyle. But we do use chicken and turkey and what have you. So I will look for different substitutes. And really nice. Yeah.
By the way, I just realized this is a little serving plate, which I bought in some pottery private place where the pottery master, famous in Tashkent. So I bought a few of them, and now this is like handmade, really good stuff. Like those are more like, factory made.
I just love
they're cute, like classic design, but this is actually like a stuff made by famous masters. So I have those.
Cool. So, Olga, I think you have a lot of people now who want to sign up for your next Uzbekistan trip. once you go again?
You know, it would be amazing. Actually, after I've been there, and now I have a friend there who helped me organize, like in Khiva. I did photo shoot. If you saw the picture, we had some photographer. And now I know better the places where I want to go, which hotel I want to stay. And definitely with cooking, I really want maybe to do more of that. And maybe even some mountain climbing or something. Not climbing, but hiking. You know, something fun.
Well,
And dancing.
Well, this is great. I feel like we could just chat the whole. This is why I love these things. It's kind of like you're learning, but you're chatting. You're drinking wine.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like classic cooking class. It's just something I share from my trips, and we'll see. I'm gonna think about what would be my next one. I will have probably a month, which is perfect.
Yeah.
And do
And
something.
I want to say particular welcome for anybody who's joining us from Ukraine or Russia. Oksana, and is Tatiana, is she in Russia also, Tatiana?
I don't know, Tatiana. I'm not sure where Tatiana from. Tatiana, tell us.
Tatiana, is she Samsung? Samsung. Who's this person? Samsung.
Samsung,
she's Galina, but Tatiana, it's another person, but we don't see where she's from.
Okay, but I just think it's always interesting to get different viewpoints and see what. So Oksana, very much welcome, and join us another time too, please.
Yeah, and I see Nancy's there. I see some Janice. Janice is there. Hi. Susan is there.
You like romper room. You wouldn't know that.
So nice to see everyone. It's actually more.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Olga.
Thanks, Olga.
Thank
you.
And
let's go to some trips soon.
We'll share some pictures and stuff, but we'll also, if you make this, please share your pictures, okay?
Okay.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bon appetit.
Oops.